Can I drop a name of coffee that I don't like, the company, or is that bad?
I don't care. It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Okay. Is it Phil's? Phil's Coffee? Maybe people love it, like the company itself. I just don't like this type of coffee. Pour over coffee sucks. It's I go in and I'm like, oh, can you make me a flat white? She's like, yeah, definitely. We can do something very similar to it. Literally, it was shit water. It was horrible. Not that I've drank shit water before.
Have you drank shit water before?
It was horrible. It was so bad. I was like, what is this? It was like watered down, nasty. And then I figured out I like espresso. I think that's what it is.
Well, I would say most pour overs put a filter in. Was like it a paper filter that they poured over? That's probably why. I mean,
I don't know how they make it, but it's horrible.
I mean, none of my coffee at home, I think, what was it, years ago, we all went to like this metal fesh. It's like a metal copper kind of filter that goes in your coffee pot.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. So, or even like my coffee pods, they're made out of stainless steel, but there's no paper filter in them anymore.
Yeah.
So I think if you're having coffee that's got like a paper filter in it, it probably tastes really watered down. I mean, I know it's supposed to be so much better for you
I'd rather do just regular, good old black coffee. I'd rather do that. But Phil's, it was horrible. I was like, this sucks. How do you make rent? How do you have a business?
So we should probably tell people why we haven't been here for a while.
Are we blaming it on the flu?
There's a lot of things. I think it was
Let me tell you, the whole family was wiped clean. It was worse than COVID. Nanny got it, mom got it, me, husband, 2 kids, ear infection, vomiting, diarrhea, you name it. I was the only one that was semi-normal, still with the flu. And I was like shaking. I was like, do you want some soup? But no one's taking care of me.
I remember when my kids were 3 and 4 or 5 months old, and my husband came home with the flu. And it's every time he comes home with the flu, it's like the whole family, forget it, we're out. And we all had it too. And I always tell, parents that I meet or whatever, especially dads, I'm like, you will never be as sick in your life as when you have little kids. Because they pick up everything and it's new. So it's new to their immune system. And your immune system is built up to certain things, but then they bring it home and you see grown-ass men just on the ground like
it's horrible.
Do you
know, Corry, do you know how many times I changed the bed sheets that week? Literally, I want to say every day, because my poor husband, he was sweating so much, shivering. He was having a seizure in bed, and that's how bad it was. But his sweat was like sweat. He was literally through the sweater, through the pajamas, into the bed and the covers. It was bad.
The only reason probably you weren't as sick as him is you just didn't have a choice.
Exactly. Why are moms such rock stars? I mean, I don't know. We're just amazing people here.
I mean, you just don't have a choice. I remember
you don't have a choice. Just suck it up, honey.
I remember when we were all locked down and COVID and all that kind of stuff, and my husband and I ended up with COVID, and it was amazing how both of us just kind of powered through and we did all the things that we needed to do. But I remember we secluded ourselves. Like he was upstairs and I was in my room, and our kids never ended up getting it because we were able to stay away for he got it first and then I got it. And so when I was like the sickest, then he was feeling better and I got better. So it was weird. But yeah, never been as sick as when you have little kids.
It's horrible. And then we were literally just talking about this. When your kids are sick, why do you send them to school? Like, I don't get it. I mean, maybe I understand how you need to get to work yourself, so you can't just keep calling off. But every time I drop off my daughter at school, she's got little munchkins around her with boogery faces. I'm like, oh my God. Sure enough, while we're done with the flu, right? All good. She goes to school when she's, I think, better. And she comes back sniffling, sneezing, the whole 9. Here we go again. I'm like, their bodies don't even take a break though, because they're constantly sick.
I know. But I guess that's what it builds up your immune system as you get older, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I've told you, but I finally went, and I think it's been this long since, did I tell you when I actually went and saw the back surgeon and met with the back surgeon?
Yeah.
So, but you were asking if I'm in pain or whatever.
Yeah, because I was asking, are you in pain every day, and why are you not taking medication? And it's like a slippery slope.
Well, the main reason why I don't take medicine is I'm too afraid that if I medicate, then I won't realize that I'm still in pain. So I'm afraid if I take the medicine, then it's going to make me think that I'm okay, and then I'm going to go do something and then really be in pain.
But keep in mind, there's a limit to it, because if you're in constant pain, your body is constantly fighting off that pain. So your immune system is going to drop and it's not going to heal. You cannot
forget sometimes that you're a nurse.
You cannot be in pain if your body's in constant state of pain, whether it's knee pain, back pain, whatever. You don't allow yourself to heal. So that's why in the hospitals, we give you the medication to kind of quiet that so that your body has time to actually heal.
Yeah.
So you can't be constantly in pain.
I'm more worried about overdoing it is really my thing.
Yeah.
Is overdoing it.
Do you have an addictive personality? Like if something feels good, are you going to keep doing it? That's a weird question to ask, but you know, some people get into, not that you're a drug addict but let's just say you do a line of cocaine. I don't know. Let's just throw it all out there. If you do a line of cocaine, it feels great. Are you going to, is that something that you're going to hold on to, that feeling of wanting to feel great and then keep doing it?
I don't know.
Or you're like, I'll do it once, I'll try it and I'll stop. Not with cocaine, which is anything in general.
Probably I'll do it once and I'll stop.
Yeah.
I think it's some of the side effects that come with it. Like the only thing that actually really touches the pain, like the regular ibuprofen, Tylenol doesn't necessarily hit it.
Yeah.
It's really, I have to do the pain medicine that hits nerve pain. Mm-hmm. And so I don't like the overall feeling of, I kind of feel like in this daze and kind of this, but I will use it if it gets really, really bad. But I was kind of babying it because, I got to the point where I think I've shared it on social media, but I don't think I've been sharing the journey, but I don't know if I shared it on the podcast exactly when I saw the back surgeon and I finally got the second opinion and went in and she said, the slippage in your spine, she scared the shit out of me because I'd gotten this text messages back and forth from, my friend who she was saying my partner is, I showed her your x-rays and she said, you have significant instability in your spine. And so of course I totally freaked out, right?
Yeah.
And so then when I finally got to sit down and see her, she basically, it was great because she pulls out the x-ray and she pulls out like her ruler that goes with the x-ray. And she said, 0.4 millimeters is significant stability. She's like, you are at 1.2 millimeters. So you're
crap.
3 times what is considered, allowable for stability. And so she's like, this is significant. And she said, you're really lucky that you're fit and you're healthy because right now it's your ligaments and your muscles that are holding your spine in place. And I was like, oh, that sounds lovely.
So you have surgery coming. What's happening? Tell me there's a way to fix this.
So that was the best thing about it.
Horrible.
She said to me, because what was all this time, nobody had ever taken a side x-ray. They had always taken a front-on x-ray where they could say, okay, your spine and your hips look fine. We did the MRI where they're like, yes, you definitely have a herniated disc. But I went back and I was like, I am still in so much freaking pain. Mm-hmm. So finally got to see a spine surgeon and she said, if you had one of these things, it would be a different thing. She said, but, you've got the herniated L4, L5, but you also have a broken L4. So it's called a pars fracture. And this was the part that shocked me. She goes, this is very common. I see this in women in their 40s and 50s when they're dealing with osteoporosis and all this kind of stuff. So she's like, it's a pars fracture. So if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see me say this, but if you're not, you won't be able to. So basically you've got that, and you know what this is because your background. But so you've got that main bulk of the spine, the vertebrae, and then you've got that spinous process. So basically it's just sheared. So there's a shear fracture.
How the hell did you do that?
So they said it can happen with anything. I really think I was doing a lunge. It was a plyometric lunge, and I twisted, and I felt something really weird. And then, dumbass, decided, let's twist the other way and see if it feels the same way. And I think that was the pop of that vertebrae. Because it was, after that happened, I was in excruciating pain. And so what I think I did,
I can't do bones.
That's where all those nerves come out, is right there. And so because I have that, but now what's happening is from L4 up, my spine is moving forward. So you can actually see in the vertebrae, and if you see the spinal cord, you can see here's the bottom, it's moved forward, and the other part of it is going in front of it. So that makes sense why I can't go backwards. And initially when they started diagnosing me, they were like, you should push back because that's going to help that spine go back.
Right.
And when I saw her, she's like, no, you shouldn't do that. She's like, you have no range of motion because if you go back like that, that's just going to push that spine further forward. And so with the MRI, she said, we can see that your spinal cord itself is perfectly beautiful. There's no inflammation. It's fine. But what happens is because you have no stability, if you move the wrong way, you pinch all those nerves. And it causes just this chemical bath of inflammation.
Right.
And so she just looks at me, she goes, this is simple, I can fix you. She's like, I go in and she's like, I'm just going to go in and put these little things in. I'm going to screw the L4 and L5 together, like pull your vertebrae back in place, screw them together, and that's it. She's like, it's eight weeks of downtime. And so, we're talking about this and everything. And luckily I brought my husband and he says, okay, so what's this going to do for her long term, like range of motion, whatever? And she says, well, your wife has about 20% range of motion, like going backwards before it hits pain. She said this should probably bring her back 60 to 70%.
Oh, that's so good.
And the doctor said, she goes, I think within the first week after you get through the initial, obviously it's surgery, we're cutting into you. She goes, I think you are going to be in less back pain than you are in currently today.
It's fantastic.
So I started wearing my back brace when I was doing more lifting stuff. And then I realized it created this whole other source of other back pain because what I was doing by wearing a back brace, if you don't know this, if you wear a back brace, you're not actually focusing on your core because you're allowing that back brace to do all the work for you. Yeah. So I decided last week, I was like, I got to get rid of the back brace. Unless I'm like lifting stuff out of the car or, when we go to soccer and there's this, I have to lift stuff into the cart, then I always put the back brace on. So I pulled the back brace out, and it was interesting because my abs were so freaking sore. I was like, I really had stopped using them.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to revert back to doing that. But of course, because I did that, there's some pain and tension in the back. But I'm just at this point where now if I'm going to be in pain, I'd rather just be recovering from the pain. But
I'm excited you're doing this, and I didn't know the scope of the surgery or like your pain because you hadn't really explained it like that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're actually doing it, and you're going to find some relief from that.
Yeah, I'm excited, and it was interesting because people along the line were saying not to have back surgery. So the doctor that I had been going to, then I saw this other. She's a doctor of chiropractic, and I said, well. Even when I asked him what would other doctors said, he said, well, everybody would say surgery. I said, why didn't he say surgery? And she said, well, he's more in pain management. I said, but the thing is that I can actually be fixed. And I get that this is spine surgery, right? Yeah. So of course, if you're going to have somebody work on your spine, you want people that focus on just the spine. And so I was like, if it can be fixed, that was the thing. My husband walks out of the room and the doctor's like, okay, I'll let you guys talk and then I'll send the nurse back in and you can kind of decide what you want to do. And she walks out and he looks at me. He's like, okay, so are we considering this? Are we thinking? I was like, oh, when she comes back in, we're picking a date and it's done.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody can fix me, I said this whole time it's always been about pain management. But when somebody's like, I can actually fix you.
And have that much of an improvement, right? 20 to like 70. That's great.
I was like, it's a done deal.
Good for you. I'm glad you're doing that. What'd you think of the luncheon?
The luncheon was great.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah.
That was probably the best one I've been to.
Yeah. So for people listening in, we did a luncheon and Jen and I have kind of put on this
amount of people, by the way.
Yeah, this Thrive movement thing. And when we were talking about it and we knew that March was International Women's Month and everything, and I said to Jen, I want to focus on wellness. Like I want to bring in wellness providers.
Yeah.
And so when we did this, I was like, I want to bring in like board certified doctors. And then I was like, in terms of skincare, like and longevity and everything, it has to be Nar. So
you're the best. It was so much fun. I met such great women and I liked the whole, first of all, where we had it was perfect. The fact that you guys got like a private room and it was intimate and cozy. It was aesthetically so cute. I felt like I was in a mini bridal shower with strangers. And it was so much fun because like the flowers, the coffee, the only thing honestly missing was cocktails. It would have been a party, okay? Yeah. It was fantastic. The food was great. Everything was fantastic. And then the information, everyone was talking. And because prior to us going up on stage or talking like our platform, we were already chitter-chattering because I already knew some of the women and then some of the others I had just met. And we were just literally talking about everything, whether it was babies, life, Botox, fillers, GLPs, all sorts of stuff. And then afterwards, I think it was Jen. She says, okay, does anyone have any questions for Nar? And I literally look in front of me and there's like 8 women with their hands up. And I was like, oh, okay, so the questions are coming. And it was everything across the board. I was not even expecting half of the questions that were coming my way, but I was ready to truthfully and honestly answer to them. Which leads me to So you guys, I had this one question and this woman said, we do all the things for our faces, but what about down there? What happens when it gets really dry? And I was like, well, shit, I don't know, because I shared with everyone I had 4 freaking UTIs because I was so dry down there, like, I don't know. And then so the whole conversation of lube came about. So I think that's a really good thing. I'm sure everyone goes through it, to be dry down there and to actually do some research. I don't know much about it. I don't know. Do you?
I've learned a lot about it because of what I do with women in perimenopause and menopause. So I've had to learn more about it. And it's the hormones. Most people don't realize it, but, down there, everything about that, it's filled with estrogen.
Yeah.
So when your estrogen starts to change, and I think the thing is that people just think estrogen and progesterone go away during, like, when you become perimenopause and menopausal, but that's not true. Everything can affect. It's, again, we were talking about, because you were just talking about, if the inflammatory markers get too high for pain. It's the same thing for women that are super stressed. And I think this was really interesting. And one of these days we'll have to get Dr. Moen on here. But she was talking about how cortisol can hijack everything. And so if that cortisol gets out of whack, it can directly affect your estrogen. So even just before we started recording this podcast, we were talking about fertility and we were talking about getting pregnant and all those kind of things. So if you're super, super stressed, it can negatively impact your estrogen, which then again can impact down there. So it doesn't have to be something that's just perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah.
But it definitely does happen during that time. But I think it's also a stigma. Women are so afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, what's wrong with me?
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
There's plenty of women out there who probably experience more than that, just dryness or irritation.
And I think what was interesting is what you talked about too with the UTIs, because people are like, I'm not dirty. Like, I shower, I do all this other stuff. But people don't understand that when you lose the estrogen, it thins your skin. So think about it from even like a beauty perspective, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about women and how their face changes and they lose the fat and the skin is thinner here.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing that happens down there.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I shared with everyone about how, for those listening, how I had 4 UTIs within a 2-month span. And I was tired of taking antibiotics. I was like, screw this. I'm not going to do this anymore. Like, I'm not going to just keep taking antibiotics for no reason. Not that it's not for a reason, but, there's other things that I want to do. So then the conversation of lube came about. So you guys, whatever lube you have out there and whatever brand you believe in, drop it in the comments. It's fantastic. I want to know. I want to know all lube.
So I'll tell you this. The best lube on the planet, people are be like, oh, Corry, that's just gross, or maybe they'll not or whatever. It's literally saliva.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Shut
it
up.
is. I'm not kidding.
Saliva is like I'm lazy and I didn't buy lube.
I'm telling you, see, for me, every lube I've ever tried is horrible. It gets sticky. It feels thick. It feels unnatural.
I'm going to send you the one I bought. It's really good. It's water-based. It's fantastic. It's not sticky at all.
We'll give it a shot, but
it's better than saliva. You're get out of here.
It works.
No. It dries in like 2 seconds. Can I have some support on this? This is so weird.
We're going to have people put comments in there.
Okay, so we talked a lot about biostimulators, Sculptra. We talked about fillers and toxins. We talked about budgeting. One of the women made a very good point. She said, as you start to retire and your budget becomes a little bit more fixed, what is it that I can do to maintain my appearance and not let myself go? So then I went on this thing of talking about aging gracefully, because I saw women out there or in the crowd that need a lot of work done, but I come from a different perspective, right? So when I look at your face, not that I'm analyzing, I'm figuring out, okay, she could use a little X, Y, and Z to help just rejuvenate her a little bit more. But then when you look at yourself every day in the mirror, you kind of give into aging. So what I wanted to share with everyone that day, and I know we were a little short on time, is when someone says, I want to age gracefully, I don't want you guys to think that aging gracefully means you just give up and let nature do its thing on your face. you should still be able to, just like the way we get our nails done, right? We take care of our gray hairs and we pluck our eyebrows. I feel like aesthetics should be a part of your routine. And not that you have to do it every single day, but you can do your skincare, you can do your toxin, your neuromodulators every 3 to 4 months. You could do your Sculptra, which is your biostimulator, or lasers. There's so much out there. And you don't have to do it all at once, but just do a little here and there. It'll help with the aging gracefully part of it. You know, you don't have to give in to aging to a point where your hair is in a bun, your grays are out, you haven't plucked your eyebrows, you haven't done your manicure, your pedicure. You know, you got to do some stuff for yourself. So one of the questions was, how do I create that possibility for me to fix what I don't like on my face on a budget now that I'm retiring? And my answer was, what's moving the needle for you? Is it your frown lines, the 11s that you get between your eyebrows? Is it weight gain? Is it your static lines you see on your face? Is it skin texture? Is it skincare? So you have to figure out what is priority for you. Is it wrinkles or is it texture? Is it facials? Like, what is it? And then just pick one and then stick to it religiously. And then slowly you can start to figure out your budget and add to it. But I think sometimes people, when they think, oh, there's so much out there, I can't afford it all, so they choose not to do any of it.
I can see that. I can see people.
Little by little. Like we had another woman say, oh, I'm from this state and kind of like a hippie. I don't want to do anything. So what can I do? So I said, okay, well, just start with skincare. Medical grade skincare, you need something that penetrates down to a cellular level. You need to slough off the dead cells, the outer layer of your skin, so that whatever product that you do put on your face actually penetrates. Or else, other than you buying stuff from the market, right? Like whether it's a drugstore or the beauty salons that we go to, you're just literally putting stuff on your face and you're layering it on, but it's not penetrating. It's not going anywhere. So you don't really see a change. You're actually just wasting your money. And it's pumped with a bunch of fragrance that you don't really need.
So what would be like the key things that people should be doing?
Cleanse. You should definitely cleanse, tone, SPF. That's what I would do. Cleanse your skin with just a gentle cleanser. Tone it, get rid of all that crap that you have on your face every day, right? Pollution, the car exhaust, just anything, makeup, whatever. You have to clean your skin, AM and PM, two times. That's it. Morning, night. Stick to a regimen, cleanse, tone, SPF. And then when you're used to that regimen, then you can add little things like, okay, if your skin texture is a problem, then you would do something with skin texture. If it's pigmentation, melasma, then you do that. If you've got smoker lines, if you've never been a smoker ever in your life, then you would do something else for that.
Okay, what is a smoker line? Because somebody said that to me the other day and I was like, I don't even know what smoker lines
are literally, so around your mouth, like you're above your top lip, right? You have these vertical lines. You know how you smoke and you go like that with your mouth, right? You purse your lips to smoke. Okay. It's basically you creating those vertical lines in your perioral lines that we call them right there. And some people will say, I've never even been a smoker. How do I have these smoker lines? But it comes with, like, let's say if you're a straw drinker and you're constantly doing this, so that muscle is contracting in the same spot over and over again, and you're going to create those vertical lines. So you can do like Botox, not on the vermilion border, not on that wet border of your top lip, but above it, right between the base of your nose and the top of your lip. When you do Botox there, it helps stop that contraction so you're not constantly doing that. But the problem with that, I always have to warn people, if you are a straw drinker, you're going to have a hard time doing
drinking from a straw.
Yeah, because it stops you from doing that.
Yeah.
So those are smoker lines. And some people have never been smokers, but they end up getting them somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why we see the funky straws. Have you seen the funky straws?
No, what's a funky straw?
So the funky straws are the straw now that it comes up and the straw goes around and it's flat.
Because they want you to stop it. I've never seen that. Do they
You
want you
haven't
to
seen
drink
those?
it from the corner of your mouth?
So because when you do it like that, and so your mouth stays flat.
Okay, so is it like a curved straw? You guys, I'm literally just looking this up. Oh my God, curved straw for wrinkles. It's
Yes.
shut the front door.
Oh my gosh, I
Let me
can't
see what
believe-
this is. What the fuck is this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You wouldn't catch me dead. How vain.
You know what? You literally, though, in your practice, all you'd have to do is every time your clients come in, let me get a sip of my water. And you would be able to sell those. Like you wouldn't
But
believe.
that's, you know what okay, so here's where I feel like I'm a little different. I don't jump on trends. So your typical med spa will probably bring something like this on and say, hey, if you don't want any perioral lines, you should probably be drinking out of this weird looking straw. And to sell that person, yes, does it work? Probably. But how fucking stupid does this look?
That's why I love you. I'm always
can't
like,
with this shit.
If you want, I tell people, if you want no filter, and if you want to know what she really thinks, you go see Nar.
Dumbest shit I've ever seen. I'll tell you something so annoying. Did you see how Kim K, this was a while ago, so I'm a little, not that I'm late, I knew about it. Kim K put out this like, you know how we wear Spanx and corsets and stuff to cinch in our waists? It's basically for your face. It's called like Skims for your face.
Oh, and doesn't it like do something like
out.
this?
Yes, it was sold out, you guys, within minutes. I'm like, I give it to her every time. Everything this woman touches turns into pure gold for her. Her dollars are stacking in her account at our expense because we're so stupid into believing that Skims for your face, Spanx for your face is fantastic. The only thing that would do is if you've had like major surgery, like a facelift, sure, it'll hold everything in place. But to prevent you from sagging is I can't. I'm going to flip this table around. So dumb. It's so dumb. This shit that we buy, I can't.
I mean, it's
What's
all
the
over.
dumbest thing you've bought online? You got suckered into it.
I'm trying to think of some of the things that I have. Oh, one of them was this like wand thing, and it had like this like rotating brush, this pumice thing that you
Okay,
were supposed to
that's
do
fine.
and kind of massage.
That's
I'm trying
not
to think
that.
of some of the other things.
It's not
that
a
I've done.
crooked straw that looks weird on your face.
Yeah, that's
I'll
true.
give that to you. Do you want to know what I just recently bought? I actually, you guys, coming from an aesthetics background, I got suckered into it and I bought it. It's literally, it feels actually really nice on your face. It's like this half dome brush. So it's bristles, it's very soft, and it's about this thick, okay? The whole bristle situation. They cover their face and they use the bristle or the brush to do half their face so that you can see the lift that you create. It's basically a lymphatic massage. So they comb up on their face and around this way and then down onto the face. And then when they remove their hand, you can see part of their face is like lifted. I can't. Half their face is lifted and then half the other face is not lifted. I tried it. Okay, I will say the eyebrow part lift. So literally, you guys, so if you're looking at the camera, so you do this and it lifted like this much. Is that a significant amount? I don't know. I can't see my face right now.
Yeah.
So it like lifted this much. But then the majority of us are like, oh my God, the jowling and then the neck. So then I was like doing that. And I was like, well, I don't really see much of a difference. Like, I mean, this is a difference. I want to look like this, but I don't. So like I was doing the top half of my face. So it was like literally, it was like this. So, but it says to do it 2 to 3 times a week. Do you think I do it? Absolutely, I do it because I want it to work. I didn't want to be one of those people that I got suckered into buying something and it doesn't work. It works. I'm gonna say it kind of works.
So here's my thing.
I would
then.
buy it
If we
for
consider
fun.
that something dumb, those 2 brushes are sitting in my bathroom top drawer.
Do you have one? Shut up! I
But
told
I
you.
bought 2 because they said if you do it at the same time, it goes faster.
I can't.
But I will say, so one of the
I
things that
love
I
it.
do every morning is I do dry brushing. And I will
On
say
your whole body or
on
your
my
face?
whole body. And I have been
does
doing
that
dry
work?
brushing. I swear it works.
What is that supposed to do?
So it's the
What
same
does
thing.
it
It's
do?
lymphatic. So when you're doing the dry brushing, you're brushing up from I start from my ankles
I
and
was
I
just going to
brush
ask you,
up.
do you have to do it a certain way?
Yeah. So you start from your ankles
Cool.
and you brush up, and you're brushing the lymphatic into your heart. I do it because I have very bad varicose veins, and I have noticed that it definitely significantly helps for me. But I have done it, and I also think that, I don't know, I see some women, and gosh, we sound catty and awful, but I see some women that like, and I know I've done strength training and all this other stuff, and like, right now I feel really, I told my husband, I had this absolute breakdown the other day, and I was like, I just don't want to get fat and frumpy, and because I have to take off all this time and because of my back and I can't lift. And, I'm a former bodybuilder and I'm about ready to go back to my bodybuilding show. And I feel like, I looked at him and I was like, I feel like a fucking cow.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my gosh. And I was just like, but I also feel like my skin doesn't look as cellulite-y and as dimply. However, I
that's
will
good.
say I have religiously done the dry brushing for the last 8 years every day.
Really?
It takes no time. It's basically like my routine is I get up in the morning, I go to the bathroom, I take off my pajamas, standing there naked, and I do the dry brushing. And then from there, I have like a moisturizing serum because my face, I hate the feel of like lotion, but I'm like, I have two other things.
Yeah,
Telling from the
okay.
lunch. But anyway, so then I do that and I put on my testosterone cream and that kind of stuff. But I just got it. It's something that I incorporate every single day.
That's
so
so
it just
good.
feels good.
I've never done that.
It's amazing. The dry brushing, if you start looking at lymphatic and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of actual scientific stuff that goes behind it.
I heard some great stuff about it.
But if you'll get into it.
Listen, right now I'm
definitely
struggling with the two toddlers. I can't. I don't have time. I need in and out, in and out.
That's why
that's part
it
of the
has to be
things
that
that we
quick.
were talking about too. Like at the luncheon, we said, okay, most of us want something very quick. Like I can't have an 8-step regimen. I don't even have an 8-step regimen. But what I do have is once a month facials. You guys, let me tell you something. Hydrafacial machine is probably one of the best things you can do for your face. Not only do you dermaplane and get all the fuzzies, we call it fuzzies, right? Get it off your face, but you also like razor off all the dead cells. And then when they put the serums on your face, it's fantastic. So if you don't want to do anything, at least do a hydrafacial once a month. You'll purge a little bit. All the crap is coming out. So you'll break out just a little bit. And if you don't, you're lucky. I'm the one that breaks out. So I'll break out for maybe 3-4 days. Not like acne, not like that, but just like a little. But then your skin, your makeup, everything is smooth. It's fantastic. I would just at least do hydrafacial. We need something quick. Okay, so at least if you're gonna do something quick, cleanse, tone, SPF, do your hydrafacials once a month. You're good to fucking go. Fantastic.
I love that.
I know. It's easy peasy. Maybe I should do if you book your hydrafacial, you get a discount. Maybe I'll do that. Give something to the listeners. I'm all for giving, honey.
Give me it for the show notes.
Let's do it.